What's going on, boys? Tricks Ridiculous back with another video, and I gotta say, I feel like I've been going back and forth defending the game, bashing the game, then back to defending the game, and honestly, the game and community are both in such a make or break point. Right now, it is absolutely insane. Now, just as a disclosure, this video is not meant to be a toxic rant or am I trying to kill anybody's hype? Because I am extremely hyped for all the new content we're going to be getting, but I just pray that it is executed correctly. But really, this is just some hard truth and advice to Crystal Dynamics on what we need to see in a constructive format with the game's best intentions at heart. Really, the game's best interests are in mind with this. I honestly mean that. But with that said, I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass or sugarcoat anything, or am I going to act like, this is such a big month for the game in terms of content, because it's really yet to be seen. And the execution of new content is far more important than the promise of new content. Let's be clear on that, because right now we're getting a lot of lip service. We really need to see how it actually is in game. So if you think that means I'm being toxic, then I really can't help you. And honestly, I don't think anything I'm saying here is, really anything that hasn't already been said. But right now, more than ever, it is crucial for Crystal Dynamic to get it right to really turn this ship around before it is past the point of no return. And also, do not worry, this is not an I'm done, I'm moving on to other games type video. I'm still playing and making content for Marvel's Avengers. So do me a solid and subscribe for future content. It really helps the channel grow and become more recognized on YouTube, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you agree with anything we talk about in this video, hit the like button and leave me a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Okay, so the game's survivability really went under the microscope this past week when it was revealed that the concurrent players on PC are less than 2,000 regularly, and even dipped below 1,000 at a point. Now, I play on PC, and I can confirm firsthand there are no players. I matched with one guy 2 weeks ago doing a Tundra Volt. We immediately added each other as friends. We were both so shocked that we found someone else, and we've played a few more times since then. Not only that, but even playing, with your current friends is busted. Just as kind of a side rant, the friends page on the game is completely non-functioning. It doesn't tell you who is online or not, and if you invite someone through Steam, you have about a 50% chance of them actually making it onto the fire team, or just glitching out. And then once they're in, it's maybe another 50% chance at that point for them to not get kicked while the mission is actually loading in. Unfortunately, the port to PC is extremely rocky. I don't want to say it has failed completely, but it is very clear to me that this game was made for PlayStation. There are no two ways about it. As someone who currently plays and streams the game on PC, I am slowly making the transition to leveling an alt account on PS4. And while I'll miss the superior graphics and load times, I do believe that from a content creator and coverage perspective, I really have to make the move to PS4 as my primary platform. Now, for my PC friends, do not worry. I still have my account on PC, and I will switch back and forth regularly. So we'll be doing, raids with viewers. We'll be streaming. So I will be playing with, friends on PC just as regularly as PS4. For my Xbox bros, I'm really sorry, but there's no way that Crystal Dynamics is getting my money for a third time for another copy of this game. So what about content, right? Well, we all know that October is, quote, a big month for the game. We are expecting the AIM Clone Lab anytime now, followed probably a week later, I would assume at this point, by the Kate Bishop DLC and new Substation Zero. This is all good stuff. I'm not mad about getting new content, but let's break down what we're actually getting. So the AIM Clone Lab is going to be our first, quote, raid-like content, right? So this is a mission that we will be doing as part of a weekly ritual. So anyone who's familiar with, Destiny is probably the prime example, but, any kind of live service MMORPG, your weekly rituals, you have to kind of get your raids done every week to get your loot. It really has to be good. They can't miss on this one. It has to be fantastic, especially if they expect players who have already put the game down to actually come back for it, and also to play it again weekly. If it's crap, you'll probably get a few players to come back and say, oh, the raid's out. Let me check the raid out. They play it the first time and it's awful. They're putting the game right back down. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I know that some people were able to glitch into it early, and the reviews were a little mixed, but I have not played it, so I will reserve judgment. But right now, just as far as a track record, the only two end game missions we have are the 14 floor hive and the 40 floor hive gauntlet, both of which in my opinion are absolute garbage, mostly because you can't play multiplayer, but also it's just a total restretch of reused content. So I'm really hoping that they don't go 0 for 3 on Endgame, because right now I'd put them at 0 for 2. And as far as rewards, I'd like to see really a gear set for each character, as well as some rare raid drop exotics for this AIM clone lab. We absolutely have to have it, if even if it is a fun mission, but if the loot we get is just the same old loot we've been getting and there's no new loot, I would consider that a fail. That would be a fail in my eyes, because why are people going to bother, other than the fact that it's just an extra chance for loot? There needs to be something unique about it to bring people back. Now, the other mission type is the Tachyon Rifts. Now, this could be an interesting mission types, but all I'm really expecting for this is probably the same missions that we've been doing, or at least mission areas that we've done a million times already, but with some type of extra element or modifier. I'm thinking it might be something like a time trial, or some other, type of element using those rifts that we've seen in the trailer. I hope that they're fun, but I'm not really putting too much stock in them. If there is some unique gear tied to them, they might be worth grinding, but if they're just another type of Warzone type mission, I don't really see why we'd be playing them other than, what we've already got. The one thing I really don't care about at all is the Shield Substation Zero in general. It's cool that Maria Hill and Dum Dum Dugan are being brought into the game as NPCs, but too many social spaces is a chore more than anything. The Shield Substation isn't actually content. It's really just a jumping off point for new stuff that we will be getting in the future. So I really don't see a point. I feel like they could have probably brought these characters onto the helicarrier. I really, just me personally, I don't feel like jumping to 3 different social spaces before I even start playing the game every day. I'm already reluctant to go to 2 different ones. So I really don't see, unless there's something different with the Shield Substation, I wouldn't even consider that a piece of content at all. So that brings us to the actual content to get excited about, and that's Kate Bishop herself. Now, I've said in my previous video, new characters are probably the best thing that can happen for the game. And the fact that it's rumored that we're going to be getting a character a month for the next 6 to 8 months is absolutely amazing to me. I feel like that alone could save the game. Now, I don't know if players who have put the game down previously will come racing back to it just to play as Kate Bishop like they would for, say, Black Panther or maybe Spider-Man. But I understand that's just my opinion. I'm sure, someone in the comments is going to tell me how much they love Kate Bishop, and I totally respect that. Regardless, getting a new character will always be a very exciting content drop for everyone who plays this game. As far as a campaign for her, don't expect much. I'm really expecting like 3 to 4 iconic missions if we're lucky, a new boss who, possible spoilers, but my prediction is super adaptoid. And then I expect the ending of her campaign to really just end on a cliffhanger that will be followed up on with the Hawkeye DLC. So, where does that leave us? Well, yesterday the devs gave an update on Reddit, and I'll kind of summarize the key points to that. So, we are expecting a new patch to go live next week, and they said that they're always kind of looking ahead to patches and when to schedule them. That's fine. Every game does this, even though this game is kind of still riddled with a lot of bugs, it costs a developer money and is a major process to actually push new patches and updates through both on the PlayStation and Xbox marketplaces. Steam's a little easier, but they have to keep it consistent. So it's very normal for games to just shovel on their patches, on board with already scheduled content releases. Going back to Destiny players know, you don't just randomly get a sandbox update when there's some type of issue or something is too good in the game. They always just pile on a ton of subclass and sandbox changes and all sorts of changes. They always just pile them on to regular content releases anyway. So that's a normal thing. Just because they know they're going to be pushing out a new version of the game with a DLC, they're going to, throw in the patches there so they're not having to do multiple pushes. Very normal. So I don't really have a problem with that. I don't expect them to really move mountains. I understand, like I said in my past videos, I know it's not easy. I'm not a developer. I'm not a coder or, software designer. But I'm really hopeful that they can do more with this next patch than they did with the previous two in terms of just general bug fixes. The other big news item was that they're planning a weekly dev Q&A live stream / state of the game blog. This is cool. I'd be very interested to see how this actually goes, but like I said, execution is key here until we actually get some, real solid answers and solid dates and content. It's all lip service at this point. You may remember back in the day, Anthem did a very famous dev live stream while the game was dying, and they basically ignored literally every tough question. I remember the chat was absolutely riddled with people just asking if they could get an update on loot. Anthem had a major loot problem. Everyone in the chat was asking if they could get an update on loot. The devs would not answer it, and then they finally responded back to someone who was a little toxic about it, and they just kind of, shut him down for being toxic, while the other 99.9% of people in the chat were being very respectful and asking about loot. So, I understand that, as a major developer, a multi-million-dollar game studio, multi-million-dollar game, they can't just spill out all of their guts and all of their secrets about everything that's coming out. They really can't do that. But they have to be a little bit more transparent, especially with the state that the game is in. I don't think they expected the game to be where it is right now this soon after release. So I think, whatever they thought they might have been sharing, I think they need to open it up just a little bit more for us. Because right now, the whole soon TM trademark is just not enough anymore. We need more concrete information and communication if people are going to continue to stick around. So that's it. Those are my thoughts. If I could really sum everything up, it would be cautious optimism. That's it. I am as hyped for this game to be all it can be as the next guy is, but I'm tempering my expectations. Toxic positivity and forced optimism are just as detrimental to a live service game because it allows the developer to get away with a minimum viable product. Now, I am not at all encouraging any ill will or negative behavior towards, Crystal Dynamics or anyone who works there or anyone else. But I'm just saying to everyone, don't be afraid to not be satisfied with low quality, low effort content in this or in any game, because that's how you get taken advantage of. So those are just my 2 cents. I'm praying that this content is good. I'm still going to be covering this game. I really do still love this game, and I only want the best for it. Anyway, cheers to everyone. Cheers to the Kate DLC and the Aim Lab. I hope they're both absolutely awesome. I'm going to be grinding heavy on the PS4 in the next couple of weeks or so. So feel free to add me if you want to grind and or play with me on stream. My gamer tag is Tricks Ridiculous, same spelling as my YouTube channel. If you agree with anything in this crazy rant, hit us with a like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And join the Twitch and Discord family. Links in the description. That's all from me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.